Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. Okay, firstly, this page has terrible bleedings. They were from using some oxide inks by Ranger for my previous Jimmy Fallon spread there. But first, I'll mask the spine of the book, basically to protect the book from any potential leakages. Also lining the back pages with rough papers for protection. An old community magazine I got for free. I'll tear out 2 pages for the background, tearing out the straight edges, making them fit each page. Using this white glue with my cheap silicone brush. Spread the glue around. Using this gesso next, I'll make the coverage a watery wash so that the text behind will still be a bit visible, lightened. At the same time, gluing down the edges. Drying it up with my heat gun. We'll be using this chalk paint by Little Birdie and acrylic paint by Folk Art, using baby wipe, one of my favorite go-to methods. Not wasting any of the paints on the stick. Swiping the paints on random spots, then spreading it out with the wipe. Using a similar colored acrylic paint here. Another green acrylic paint by Daiso, dotted at the bottom. Using my white paint next, just a small dab. 2 more acrylic paints by Daiso. Mix the colors. A little bit of white. Diamond shaped stencil I cut out myself. And this old Daiso sponge dabber. Using the leftover mix for some splatters. Speed drying. With this flat brush, I'll try to do some dry brushing on some random spots. Clean the palette. A box of some rubber stamps I carved myself. most were inspired by art by Marlene. Gonna choose that one. Green and black paints. Mix the two. A little bit more green. Just random spots. Another flat dry brush. Some more dry brushing. Some leftover orange pattern papers. Drawing a long petal at the back of it. Cut it out. Then trace it again for some duplicates. Doing it on the other pattern paper too. Now using the green paper for the leaves. And the sepal. Using my brown ink pad by Zucchini Co. Aging the cutouts with the ink. Using my gel medium. And my silicone brush. Arranging the petals in alternate patterns. Not exactly a tulip, but something like that. Using the green leftover paper again for the stalk. Some aging for the stalk too. Gluing it up with the remaining gel medium. That's the sepal. Brushing gel all around the flower to get a non-porous matte background for later. Some more gel. Now pasting the leaves. Clean the palette, speed drying it. Brown India ink by Dr. P.H. Martin. Just a bit of ink. Giving a bit of shadow effect to the flower. Using the leftover ink for some dry brushing. My vintage photo oxide ink pad, aging the bottom with it. Dry, dry, dry. My cheap oil crayon set. Trying to make up for the green at the bottom there. Here's a phrase cut out from a magazine. Splitting it word by word. Gel medium out again. Testing the placement a bit. Starting to glue them down. With my charcoal pencil, I'll give each of the word blocks some shadow. I still have one leftover petal here, don't want to waste it. A bit of gel medium, let that be like a fallen petal. Dry it off. Taking out my old watercolor set, using the orange here. For some splatters. Drawing time. A normal black gel pen. Thought the wordings here needed a little bit more pop, so outlining the blocks. Finally taking out the rough papers, trimming off the protruding stock and tips. And I think I'm done. Honestly, the spread didn't end up how I imagined it to be, but I guess I still like it. Glad to have used up some leftover scraps. So I guess that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Happy journaling and bye!